Good afternoon, everybody. How's it going? So it's been a bit crazy here, but now it's nice to sort of have an afternoon and just sit and chill out and just cup of tea's going to be here in about half an hour, so it's all good where I'm sitting. So okay, what are we doing today? I've got 3 tiles on the board. I'm just playing with a couple of different colours. I mean, if we look here, let's just sort of wander out a little bit. Oh, can't really. Okay, let's have a look at this. I've got I've got the 2 greys and the white, and I'm thinking, what am I going to do? I could swap the white out and bring in a black, or I could go in with a pop of colour, maybe, or even that burgundy's quite nice with the greys. It's up to you. Choice is yours. I mean, of course, if you wanted to, you could come in and use all the same colour tile. So if I just take that away for a moment, we could just have white. But whichever you choose and whatever you do, we are definitely working with 3 tiles today. Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm going to take those out and I'm going to come in with that one, and yeah, I think I'm going to go with the white there. Okay, so I'm going to put my name on just one of them because, excuse me, I'm going to put them all together in a short while. So here we go. So, do you know it's tile 83 today? Times are getting on. I have actually sat and looked at a diary or a calendar for the rest of the year, because we said we were looking at doing trying to get to 100 for New Year's Eve. That it's entirely doable. There's a few that I've got to sort of slip in there for, sort of within the Christmas week. So it's definitely going to happen. It's definitely going to happen, I think. Okay, so I've got a little bit of sticky tape here, because what I am going to do, I'm just going to tape them. And I want them some sort of raggedy order, I would think. So I'm going to put just some tape underneath there, just so I can hold it in place. And then I'm going to have one coming in there. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little bit of tape underneath there. And you think, what is she doing? Chris, you can use 3 different colours, or you can use 3 all the same. It's entirely up to you, I don't mind. What I'm after is some sort of maybe bit of a rectangle-ish, I would say. Here we go. So I've got something anyway. I've got something, and they're slightly stuck together, but I can move them if I want to later. Okay, so what do I have today? I do definitely have my black pen. You've seen me use that. I've got a thick black pen as well. Now, whether you use the 08, and you can see that that's got quite a thick nib, but I've got, quite like these, I've got the brush nib. There we go. If you have a look at that one, it's well used, as you can see, but it worked quite nicely. So I'm going to be using the brush one. I do have my pencil. I've got a white pencil, a couple of tortillons, and I've got a white pen. And I've even thrown in today, I've even got a gold and a silver, because I wasn't quite sure where I was going. So I thought I'd bring sort of a few bits and pieces. Of course, if you've got your pens, you could bring in your coloured fine liners, whatever you want to do. Are we ready for this? I'm looking forward to this, actually. I wanted to do something a little bit different. And it's nice. I know we do a tile every time, and I want to keep that consistency. But it's nice just to sort of mix and match now and again, isn't it? Okay, so here we go. I'm going to do a curve to start with. Oh, Joanne, owls are coming. There was over 600 parcels that went out yesterday with Hermes, and whatever's left is there waiting to go out today. So if you don't get them, today's probably going to be tomorrow, isn't it? Tomorrow and Friday, so they're coming. And there was a hell of a lot of parcels, so I apologise up front if I've missed anything out. I really am sorry. Just message me and let me know. But hopefully, I think I've got them all. Hopefully. Anyway, here we go. You ready for this? Woo. Oh, we do have a new one. I didn't notice. I do apologise. I'm doing things. Oh, hello, Frida. Nice to sort of meet you. Welcome to the Crazy Madhouse. Are we ready then? I'm going to go straight in with pen today, and I'm going to use these tiles as one whole sort of piece. Now you could do this straight onto a journal page, couldn't you? Oh, okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start sort of here. I'm going to put in a curve, and I want to go across all of those 3 tiles. You see now why I sort of put them together now with a little bit of tape. Okay. All right. Now, I was asked about straight lines and how do I draw them. I mean, if you're really struggling with a straight line, then use a straight edge, and I always use a tile, as we know. But you could also, if you're using a tile, what you could do is pack a few up together. So you've got a few, and then actually put your finger on the edge of the tile, hold it. You see I'm holding it a little bit further up, and then move your whole hand all the way down. See, that's what I used to do when I was woodworking. Okay, but if you've only got one tile and you're trying to do it, then again, if you hold it in place, and rather than move your hand, move your whole hand, it'll help you with those straight edges. It's just a little bit of a pointer, as I was asked a bit earlier. So here we go. All right, so coming to the top, this is going to be my top section here, or you can choose to have it that way. It really doesn't matter, but I'm going to go with this one. And I'm going to come and add quite a curve to the top there. Okay. And then I'm going to add another one this side. So I've created this sort of leaf kind of shape. Okay. So let's work our way down. Let's do another one here. I'm not going to touch the, let's call it a stem or our string for now. Just going to leave them loose there, hanging on. Okay. Right, just making sure everybody's caught up with me there. All right. So then here I'm going to do another. I'm going to do quite a large one, because what I'd like to do here is just to sort of take on all of those tiles in there. There we go. So it's almost become one now. Okay. And then this side, I'm going to do another one here. You see my curves change. I'm not trying to make them all the same. Yeah, Lindsay, that's a good point. Yeah, I think, you know, it's practice, and it's just about not getting over the fact it's got to be perfect and just giving it a go. And the more you worry about it, the worse it gets, and that's certainly not what we want. Okay, I'm going to come in now with a brush. Okay, Deborah, no worries. And what I'm going to do, let's come a little bit bigger, see, is I'm going to fill in. You see, we're having that brush, I can cover quite a lot of space in one time. And then, of course, if it goes out a little bit, that's okay. I can come back with my thinner brush later. So whatever you've got. And do you know, you don't even have to colour them in black. You can colour them in a different colour if you want. It's entirely up to you. But I've obviously opted for the monochrome theme today. So there we go. All right. And I'm going to do the same with the others. So even when it's gone over the tiles, I'm still doing the same thing. I'm treating it now just as though it was one page, one sheet, one tile, whatever you want to call it. And then just going ahead and filling that in. You see, if I'd have used a black tile, I wouldn't have had to fill them in, would I? Because they were already black. But it was my choice, whatever colour I wanted to use. See, I'm going to have to go in and just help it along there a little bit, because it's going up and down the steps of those tiles. There we go. Do you know, my show with owls shouldn't have been till today. They brought it forward, so glad they did. Else we would have been there today, wouldn't we? I say we, because we would have been doing, we've still been doing, well, a tangle. Or maybe I'd have been doing it later in the day, I don't know. Okay. Alright, this one. Alright, you see why I like this brush? It does cover quite a lot, doesn't it? See, I've gone out and over a bit, doesn't matter. Just create the shape as I'm going. Actually, maybe in the market for a new one. It's been used a lot, hasn't it? I want to have that black area. Okay, last one. All right, let's bring that back down there. Okay, let's have a look at how we are. Okay, so as you can see like here at the top, I can just come back in and just shape that if I want to, if it's gone over a little bit. Yeah. Oh, via my next show, goodness me. 27th of November, so I've got a little bit of time. It's not going to be it's not a new product because it's part of the sort of the Black Friday kind of thing, so that's it. I'm going to have something a little bit new on the 4th of December, and then it's quite a big show, 17th and 18th of December, because that's 2 years of me being at Creating Craft, so I wanted to do something special. All right, we all got that then. Obviously, we're going to come back with these later, but I wanted to make sure that they really seriously dried off, so we're just going to leave them to do their thing, and I'm going to come back in with my there you go, my O2 pen. All right, and again, if you don't want to use black, you can use a different colour. That's absolutely fine. It's just that I'm going to do this, and I think I'm going to stick with that little bit of silver and gold and things. All right, are we ready then? Okay. So this side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of aura that curve. Anybody thinking what's she talking about? An aura. It's where I'm just sort of following the line that's been there before. So you can see it's sort of some almost parallel-ish. There we go. And then let's bring it back down again. We're going to make a sort of a thin shape there. Coming back to nothing to that point. Okay. And I'm going to do the same again. So a little bit of an aura, but smaller this time. And then back out. Okay. So you see on this edge here, I'm just going to do a little mini one of those. There you are, just so it sort of sits on those. Okay. And then here, working my way around there, just as before. And then around to create that little shape. And then same again, just doing a smaller one. See, I'm not trying to make them even or equal. Okay, and I'm not going to put another, I might actually put one, let's put one there. Maybe a little one there. Okay. All right, let's have a look at that. There you are. So I'm going to come now to this one. I'm going to do something similar. So I'm just going to make that into that point at the bottom. And follow that. And then bring it round to a point. And then I'm going to do another one there. I don't want to quite get into that far, so it's just it's still off there, isn't it? Okay. Oh, Maureen. Do you know what? I'm so overwhelmed at the support that I've had this year in particular. I can't thank you all enough. I really can't. Had we not done this year, had it not, gone another way, I'd have been, looking for a job somewhere else, and none of this would have happened. So I'm so grateful, I really am. There we are. Okay. And then here, see, I missed a little bit. And then around here. And I actually feel like I've met new friends. I know we've not met, but we have virtually, and I think that's a real important thing, isn't it? That we keep that up. It's it's kind of special. There we are. Of course, we're introducing new people all the time, and certainly now we're locked down again in a sense. I think even in the months and even years to come, we're all going to need something just to sort of take ourselves out for a minute. They are, aren't they, Victoria? What's this like? So I'm going to put one there. Oh, thank you, Gladys. It's one of them things, isn't it now? It's what we do. It's part of our day. And it'd be really weird without it. I have looked, though. I do know that Christmas Day is on one of our Tangle days, and I am going to have Christmas Day off. So we won't have a tile Christmas Day. I'll leave you in peace. All right, see, I'm going to do another one there. There we go. All right. But yeah, the owls are really nice, and I know my team's had fun working with them. So yeah, and I did have fun, doing the instructions. I think sometimes when you do instructions and you just think, oh, I could do it more, I could do another one, I could do that. There's so many ideas. Oh, yes. All right, let's have another one there. See, I'm just going to sneak it there. So that moved a little bit. There we go. Just put one in there. Okay. Oh my goodness me, that was a while back. I know, Sue, what would we do without it? Okay, it is honestly part of my life, it really is. Okay, so we've done these little sort of lines. What I'm going to do, I'm going to start at the point, and I'm just going to come up and add in a couple of lines. I don't know whether you'll get 2 or 3 or even just 1. But you see that if I start from the point, from the end, and pull out, you'll get a better line than if you come in, so to speak. You'll sort of naturally follow that curve, and that's what we're after doing. Okay, from the point outwards. From the point outwards. And you want that little bit of an uneven. Oh, do your part. I know what you mean, yeah. I don't go a day without doing some tangling of some sort. Whether it's for my own personal, although I don't get a lot of time to do that today. A lot of my personal ones now are sort of shared because we all do them together. But most definitely, it's yeah. Even yesterday, and I must admit, yesterday I was pretty tired. I still went home and did a bit, of course. There we go. So we're just adding those in. Don't worry if you can't get 3 in. If you can only get 2, that's fine. Or even 1, that's okay. That's it. Even Leslie today was sort of having the day off, but because we're doing a live today, she said, "Oh, I'll come in because you can guarantee that if I'm sat here, Hermes will arrive, and I'll have to stop this to go and do that." But she came in, and luckily she's here because Hermes has just arrived. There we go. Couple there, just little ones. There we are. See all these little details, they all add up. And when you think we're just doing little lines, and this is going to give it that little bit of depth around the edge. Oh, thank you, Sue. I know. Do you know, honestly, it's kept me sane too, because, if I'm not busy doing things, it's, what do you do? Yeah, we'll get through it. Okay, that was quite nice. I like that. Let's have a look. Look at that. Oh, it's quite sweet, isn't it? We're not finished though yet. Lots still to do. Okay, so I'm going to come in now. I'm going to sort of change my pen over now. I've done the main. Or shall I? No, let's do the sort of stem first. Okay. I'm going to go a little bit larger. We'll do the stem first in black and then we'll swap pen. Okay. I know, Julie. It's great, isn't it? So just on the bottom of this here, I'm just going to sort of add a little bit of a triangle, see, and just fill it in. And then, of course, when I come to this one, I can now just fill that in, just so it's a little bit thicker around the base, you see? Same there. So this one now I've got to bring it over. Add that little bit of a triangle, just thicken it up as until it comes to the base. Same with this one. See, I didn't want to dictate where you were going to pour it really. It was all about putting it wherever. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to start back up at the top, and what I'm going to do is I want to create a loop coming around, you see? Like so. Let's go a bit larger so you can see it. There we go. Oh, I know, Alicia. No, that's fine. That's why we're waiting. You could actually go in and do the sort of beginning of the month, couldn't you? The letters, because that's not really working within the diary. All right, see what I'm doing? I'm creating this sort of loop shape, working my way around and just following, going from one to the next. There we go. Now I do this quite a lot, so you can see that it's sort of a little bit more natural to me than maybe. Okay, see how I've got lost there. Oh, thanks, Vivian. So here, you see this one's sort of going under, so I'm going to keep that illusion that it's going under, but then carry it on. There we are. Okay. Now this is, I think, one I used to actually doodle, not necessarily tangle, but doodle. I used to do it without thinking. So now to sort of slow it down and really think about where you're going with it, you know, it really focuses the mind there. I think we did a little bit of a new zinger, didn't we, the other day with this pattern on the top of it. That looked quite nice. So I might include a few of them. See how we go. Maybe in one of the metallic pens. Okay. Just working. See, I'm going to get a bit smaller now because I'm getting towards the end. I'm going to see how small can I go till I get to nothing. There we go. Oh, Tina, it's just a bit of practice. And you know, I know you look up at it, it's not perfectly neat, but that's not what we wanted. I know. Oh, Pat, I need to send you a slip of the. It's got an instruction thing on as to what the difference is between one and the other. I need to look it out and send it, because I know people that have walked past my stand in the past. You know, when we used to do those things where people came to visit. Yeah, and people have walked past and say, "Oh, it's just doodling." I used to hand them out and say, "Have a look at this. It's a little bit different." Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm going to work with. Let's go. Come on. Let's start with the gold. I'm going to work with the gold pen. So I'm coming in here. I've got a uni ball today. I thought I'd use two. I've got the uni ball and the Sakura, but I'm going to use this one. Okay. So you see, I've got a bit of space here. I'm just going to turn it round because it's easy for me to do curves this way. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to add in it's almost like that leaf shape we started with, that curve, you see, but this time I'm going to come back round and down, a bit like a little paisley kind of pattern. Okay, let's go a bit larger. There we go. So I'm going to do another one, a little bit smaller here. Okay. And then I'm going to do another one here. You see how it sort of goes around and then comes and kinks in. Oh, Sue, kettle on already? Mine's not on yet. Won't be long. All right, okay. So, see, I'm not going to put another one here. I know it's tempting, but if you think you've done that, it's almost like you're mirroring what you've done. If you really, really want to put one, then do it sort of off piece somewhere, or maybe come back down and do one here. You see, it's always. I know it's about where do you put them and what do you do with them, but it is tricky. I know, but I do try and explain my reasoning as I go if I can. All right. See, I've got a space there, so I'm going to add a couple in there, and maybe one there. What I don't want is I don't want 4 there and 4 there. It's all about mixing and matching, isn't it? Okay. So working my way up. It doesn't matter that I'm going on to the coloured now, because as we know, gel pens work. Oh, look at that! Work brilliantly on top of our coloured tiles. There we go. Another Now moving slightly further up, you can see there's not much space here. So I'm just going to sort of add one in there. I'm not going to do much more. And I think here I'm not going to put any. Okay. So you see I've got a few of the gold ones sort of working up and down there. So coming in, and again I'm just going to add in that line. Okay, you can put a dot on the top, but I think for this one I'm just going to leave it at the line. There we go. And then on this one, there we go. Just add in those lines. And you see again, I'm coming from the point out, and it just gives it that better, because it almost, the pressure eases off as you're further out, so you get a better line. Okay, let's have a look at that. Okay, so far so good. So let's come in now with our silver pen. Okay, so what I'm going to do with that, I want to sort of work in these little sort of gaps now. Now I know we don't normally use bubbles, and these are bubbles of a sort, but instead of that we're going to go in with our swirls. Okay, now because we're using a gel pen, they're going to be a little bit bigger as well, and that's quite nice because it just gives it that little bit of difference, you know, when compared to the black pen next to it. You see, I'm just filling up some of the space there. Oh, you need to tangle on your wall. I think I did draw on a wall once. I did quite a big sort of lattice effect, and I drew some flowers on it. It's a long time ago though. It took ages, and a lot of coloured pencils. It looked lovely when it was done, just up like one wall. Okay, you see I'm not sort of following down in a complete row. I'm just looking where there are some spaces, and then just letting that gel pen do its work. You know, be careful where you're going, because you don't want to find that you're smudging it in any way, because it's easy to do if you're not careful. You get carried away just drawing, and you forget that you're leaning on something. Alright. Nice and gentle. It's great when a gel pen works, isn't it? It just eases on. It's like creamy, isn't it? They're lovely. There we are. Okay, so let's have a look at that, where we're going. Alright, so I'm going to come slightly further up now. Let's work on here. I'm going to put a little one in there. There we go. See, they don't have to be the same size. They don't have to fill all of the space. You just want to do a little bit. And imagine now if we'd have used that burgundy tile. It's actually, I think it's called Bordeaux. Or we could have used, we could have used a really bright, I could have used the tangerine, couldn't I? That'd look nice. Or, as I said, I could have used the black tile. There's so many options. It's just nice having that choice and picking them up, isn't it? Oh, where am I? There we go. Sorry, getting a bit carried away there, working my way up, and I've left you behind. Sorry. Okay. That bit there. Alright. Oh no, I can't do bread pudding. No, I just don't get how bread's a pudding. And I know I taught it in class a few times, so I know what's in it and all the rest, but I can't do the milk anyway. And then again, any white sauce, anything white like that, it's just a no-no for me, I'm afraid. I'm a bit weird. Oh dear. But I'm sure it's lovely. And I'm sure some homemade ones are really, really lovely, but no, I'll have a jammy dodger. Or a Jaffa cake. Okay, so we can see we've got a bit of gold, we've got a bit of silver, we've got some things going on there. But I'm just going to put my pen to one side, and I'm going to come in now with my white pen. Okay, now you've got to make sure that your black that you've done earlier has really dried, which is why we did it first thing, because we don't want to be going over with a white pen when we've got a black that's not dried off. Okay, so I'm going to start at the point here, and let's just make sure it's going to work. Yeah, and let's just take that line nice and slowly up to the top. Okay, and then back to the point, and again nice and slowly, just let that pen do the work to the top. Okay, and then back to this point, and we're going to do it again. See, and then again. Alright, now looking at the size, I'm probably going to get another one in here. So there we go, another one. Alright. So then I'm going to choose one of the lines. It really doesn't matter which one you go with. And it doesn't matter which side of the line you do this on. You'll understand that in a minute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come on this bit here. I'm going to pull out, create a line there, and then I'm going to go along the edge with some lines. Okay, so I'm just going to turn it slightly because it's easier for me to draw that way. It does look onion-like, I suppose. So you just take your time with it. Now you could have done these lines going inside, going outside on any of the rows. It's just that I've chosen to go on the outside. There we go. Okay. I know, rings in an onion. Hey, this could start getting really deep, couldn't it, for a Wednesday afternoon? You know, layers of skin and all that. Yeah. I mean, could you actually make a stew without onions? It's one of those things that you absolutely need, isn't it? There we go. And then I'm going to come up the centre there with a line. Let's have a look at that, see where it's... Okay. See, I could have actually used the gold or the silver for that, but I quite like it, the black and the white. Okay, so let's do the same on this one. Slightly different shape, but that's fine. We're going to follow the rules just as before. I'm going to start with this dot here, this point, and then bring it out up to the top. And then from this point, bring it back out. You see, I'm just following the shape. So, I'm not trying to do anything fancy with it. I suppose you could use leeks, yeah, but they are part of the onion family, aren't they? I do like leeks, actually. I've not had leeks for years. John doesn't like them. So, you know, when you're only cooking for two of you and one of you doesn't like it, sometimes it's, yeah. I know, actually, Tina, I know a friend of mine, Jackie, she's allergic to onions, so, yeah, there's my line in the centre. So then I'm going to follow the same sort of route, and I'm going to add this pattern on the outside. But you could swap it about. You could add more patterns. You could, you know, change it up and add bubbles in it if you wanted to. But I think I'm just going to go with those lines. Okay. Oh, Maria, no. No, I quite like onions. See, look, we always end up on the food line, don't we? Talking about food in some way. It's not at this time that Julie comes up and says that she's been baking. Alright, okay. So next one, same again. From the point, bring your pen round. Now this time I just want to make sure that that's actually in line. There you go. Remember, that's where I taped that tile to the next. It's almost like we're not working on a tile anymore, isn't it? We're just going along and working on the page that we've got, really. So those of you that are a little bit nervous about using journals, really your journal page is not that much bigger than what we're doing here. So that's something to think about, isn't it? Okay, so same with these lines. Oh, Julie, I knew you were going to say that. I knew it. You're always making biscuits. Or something, anyway. Muffins as well. You've done muffins before. No. Actually, John's attempting to do our evening meal tonight. He's attempting a casserole. Yeah. I'm sure it's going to be lovely. I'll do this one first. I've just got images of him putting his glasses on and reading all the instructions. Now if you could see Leslie's face. The idea of John cooking tea. I'm doing him a disservice. He did actually 2 hour lunch yesterday. Oh dear. Oh, Victoria, no. You can go and have something else. You go and have a bit of salad. Or there's other things. Glass of water. Yeah, we don't want to be responsible for you going off the wagon, so to speak. There we are. All right, so let's just add those lines again. There's something, isn't there, about working with a white pen on black. And although we're not using a full black tile, it's almost sort of going back to it, isn't it? Sheila. Yeah, he does follow the rules rigorously when it comes to doing anything cooking. He's the one as well that'll use every single pot and pan in the house. And he slices everything up, puts them in individual dishes before he starts. There we go. Poor Benji and Seth are sat there watching him. So, oh my goodness me, what's he doing? Come on back. I think Benji's in the doghouse today though. I think he got John up at 4 o'clock this morning. Just wanted to wander outside. Under investigation, that sounds ominous, doesn't it? Yeah, I know that feeling. Been there. There we go. They still never actually, until I saw the surgeon last year, they never actually 100% admitted to me what it was I'd got. Yeah. There we go. Look at that. Look at that with that grey background and the black. It's just something so different about, isn't there? Oh, I'm pleased with that. So far, so good. Okay, I'm going to stick with the white pen just for a while. Obviously, when I come down to here, I'm going to have to go back to black. But I think I'm going to stick with white up here just for a little while. Okay. So let's just pull out a little bit here. I've got some space. Now this is a pattern that you'll have done before, but this is, just showing it in a different context. I'm going to follow this curve from here. I'm going to follow this curve out. See, I'm going to go as though it's going underneath and back round to form a little loop. See? And then let's do another one here. Round, a little loop. And then I'm going to come back to this one. I'm going to start here. And I'm going to bring it round and back down. So it's almost following the same line. Same here, just giving us that extra layer. Okay. Okay, next one. In there and round there. And back down. And back up. Okay, so just following that pattern. If you want to do all of those first and then this first and then come back and do those, it's entirely up to you. go. I'm going to have another one here, I think, coming out. But this time I don't want to follow that line and go this way. I'm going to sort of come this way. So it's going to sit as though it's going underneath, you see, and out there. Okay. And then another one this side. Just out and round there. And go back. Another one there. So you're not trying to make them all same size. They're all slightly different, but that's fine. You're just working with the space that you've got. Okay? Let's have a look at that. Okay. You know, being that we've sort of put a line in the middle of everything that we've done today, I'm just going to repeat that. I'm going to add those lines to there. Just adds a bit of consistency. Just changes it up just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Oh, do we have a newcomer? Thank you for letting me know. So I can't always see the screen that I'm reading, and it's always, I'm focusing what I'm doing. I'm trying to do 6 things at once, really. Well, hello, Debbie. Welcome to the madhouse. I mean, the Sanntangle group. Enjoy. If we've not made you hungry by talking about tea and biscuits and bread and butter pudding, then yeah, just sit and relax. Okay. And another one here. See, it felt like it needed to go that way. And then back up and round, and then back up. See, it's going to go underneath, so you're just going to catch that little bit there. There we go. And then back up. Now, of course, if you're wanting to, just stop at the oniony kind of shape at any point, or if you think, that's enough there, I'm just going to put another tile. Avoid the lines just on the top of this, just because I've got a lean on it, and I want to make sure that any of the gel pen I don't sort of like rub my hand on, because I don't want to smudge it. There you go. Another one. Another one. You could do 2 or 3 of these. It's entirely fine. I'm going to stick with 2 there. I think quite like that idea. And then, of course, coming back in with that little line, just adding that in. There we go. See? Alright, so I can move that off there. So I've got that bit done. So I'm going to sort of have a look at this area now. Remember, we've got quite a bit of space here. So let's turn it round so I can work on it. So let's have a look. So I've got a nice curve coming this way, haven't I? So I'm going to bring it, sort of follow that curve round and come out. And then this way. Oh, look at that white on that grey, isn't it lovely? Oh, I'm happy with that. It was nice on the pale grey, but look at the difference. There's your pale grey and your dark grey. It's lovely. Let's have another one. And then add in that extra line. Of course, you don't need to sort of think you've got to keep up with me as you're doing this. If you just have a go, even if it's on a scrap bit of paper, just a couple of sketches and a few bits. Oh, and yeah, the 05s are nice. You have to really slow down with them because they are thinner. And if you go a bit too quick, you don't get the line. It sort of gives you a little bit of almost like a channel in the middle, doesn't it? But this is an 08. This is sort of, I would say, the most common size. Sometimes it can look a bit thick compared to the black. So it's nice to have, options. Just slow down with it a little bit. Okay. Let's have another one. So I'm going to come out here. So it's going to go under that gold there. And there it is. You see, sometimes you have to sort of start them off because they do dry on the ends, don't they? You have to get it going again. That's it. A bit there. See, I'm definitely going to get another row in there. Another row in there. See? So they don't have to be level, they don't have to be the same. If you remember, we did this, was it Friday? Can't remember now. We did this, but we did it quite straight. Oh, do you think so, Maureen? Do you think so? It's you don't know what's to come yet. I mean, this is what, after this one, we've got 17 more tiles to New Year's Eve. My goodness. What I will do, I'll put out some dates of what I think it'll sort of, you know, balance it out kind of thing, just to sort of give us an idea. And it might be, I don't know, if we do one every, I don't know. I have got some dates, I will push them. And if you can do it, great. If not, don't worry about it. I mean, they might not be all as elaborate as this one, but certainly we're going to go for it. We're going to give it a go, aren't we? Okay, see here that I've sort of feel the need to come off onto the grey here. So I'm going to just come in with my black, and I'm just going to add in part of the line, and then I'm going to continue it with the white. There we go. Okay, and then add that over the top there, and then this one over the top, and another. So they sort of flow from one to the other. There we go. Let's have another one there. Okay. Oh yeah, Lindsay, you can. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Just catching up. Okay, so we come now to this white tile. So obviously I'm going to put my white pen away, and I'm going to come back in with the black because we've got space that we still want to be working with. So let's have a look here. Let's sort of see, I can just perhaps come in and neaten that edge up now. I didn't see that earlier. But then let's follow that round, pull it from there, and have a couple of these little shapes coming out there. You see, even that, you know, after working on the greys, and then you come and work, let me go a bit closer. You suddenly on seriously really bright white with a black pen. It's beautiful. And it almost looks printed when you put it on. It's just lovely. Okay, I'm going to put one up here, look. There we are. And I'm going to be a rebel, and I'm going to leave it with just one. Look at that. Oh, I'm loving it. Okay, so let's have one. See, I've got to turn it around. I do apologise if I'm giving you whiplash today. It's a tricky one, this. Because it's got, you know, so many different facets to it, with it being a larger tile. I might just leave it at that, actually. And then let's have one coming. Let's just sort of fill that. Let's have one coming from over here. And of course your tile is going to look different because you started differently. You didn't perhaps stick them in the same place that I did. And then of course your curve's going to be different. And it's slightly different to mine. And then of course where you placed your first little leaves, or whatever you want to call them, they were different. To now it's about finding those gaps, isn't it? Oh, Marie, do you think? Do you know, it's just flowing, it's just working its way around, isn't it? I do, obviously I've planned it, but I've not planned it to the nth degree. You can't with these things, you can't with organic tiles, but it's lovely. Okay. And I did actually do the original plan on a coloured tiles. So although it's in its rough version, I will show it you in a little while, so you can see where my thinking was, I suppose. Because today, you know, you take your time with it a little bit more, and there we go. Okay, let's have a look at that. Okay, oh look. I think it needs, yeah. Oh, I'm not going to put one in there. See, I could, yeah, I'm going to put another one down here. There we go, just a little one. I'm not going to overdo it. I'll leave some of the space. There we go. And that one. And another. A little bit in there. So a couple of little bits still to do. Now I'm going to come in with my my black pen. Actually, I'll start down here with it, because as we did these, if you remember, we actually did some little curls in there. I'm going to put a little dot on the end. I'll tell you what I've not done. I've not put my lines in. There we go, as I've worked my way round. See, I was getting carried away with drawing more. I forgot to add those in. There we go. So I'm trying to I'd rather come out from this if I can, but I'm sort of in a little bit of an awkward position. I don't want to have to keep turning it too much. There we go. Again, I've put a little dot on the end there. You can actually thicken up some of the lines if you want. See, like such. Okay, it's got a little bit. Oh, Nadia, I'm sure it will. But there's no right and wrong, is there? There's no rules. As long as you start with that curve, it's going to flow. Right, got another one there. Look, still a little one with a dot on. There we are. And then it's a case I might even put one here. If you've got some space and you think, do you know what, actually it needs a little bit of something there, then come on in and add it. And of course you could come in if you wanted and use your coloured gel pens. You don't have to do this in black. You could have done silver and gold. But I thought I'd leave that where it was for now and just stick with the black. So here I'm going to bring it and out over. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to keep with the black, I think, for these swirls here. Just because I can. It's entirely up to you can mix and match it. You can go back to a white pen if you want. You could use a bit of gold and silver. There we go. Alright, another one there. See how I'm crossing them on purpose? I want that sort of crisscross effect. Let's have a little one there. Alright. Okay, so coming over to this section, I'm only going to get a little one in there. Don't want to go too far. Okay. And then of course bringing it round to this section here. You'll still see it on the dark grey. It's not going to be as visible, but you'll still see the black. So I'm going to carry on with that. You see? Let's put another one in there. Okay. And again, that's going to sort of look like it's going underneath there. That's our little one there. So we're not trying to make them the same. We're not trying to keep up with how many is there. It's just whatever you feel. If you want to have a few more, it's fine. Okay. All right, let's have a look at that. Okay, oh, look at that. How beautiful is that? I'm really pleased with that. And we've not even done any shading. My goodness me. So, okay. I think what we will do, let me just put my lid on my pen if I can find my lid. There it is. You know, I'm going to come back and say, you know when we did these lines, I am going to come back and put a little dot on those lines. I think I quite like that. The dot on. There we go. Makes it just a little bit different. Shows your centre. Well, of course, you could have done that with your gold or your silver. It's entirely up to you. But I quite like the idea of using the white. Okay, so pencil then. Here we go. Oh, thanks, girls. I'm loving it. Oh, Anna, when to start? Yeah. Do you know, sometimes I just give yourself a time and say, right, I'm going to stop after this certain time and have a little timer on. And then literally seriously stop and put it to one side. And if you think, oh, it still needs a bit more, then you can consider it over the next couple of days. It's not about then, you know, how much or how little. It's what have you done in the time. Okay. So I'm going to come back to these original sort of shapes here. And you know where we put those lines? I'm just going to come in and just help it out pencil. And of course, this is another point where you can add colour if you want to. So adding in that your pastel pencils, even a touch of watercolour. Watercolour look lovely on it. Although I would perhaps, if I was going to do watercolour, I probably would have used the more of the cartridge paper type tiles. Well, it will still work. Pastels look great. Colours look great on this. Okay. So even here, I'm still going to come in and I'm going to add pencil either side, because you'll still see it on that grey. It might not be as clear on the screen here, but you will still see it. So we're gonna bring it in and use it. Okay. So everyone, just be careful when you're doing this that your tape doesn't move. So underneath, because you might decide later you want to split it, see, do something else with it, which is why we just used a bit of tape. There we go. So yeah, just working your way systematically around, putting those little lines, and putting pencil over those little lines we did. There we go. And a bit on there, see? And of course, just one there. Okay. So tortillon, now remember I've got one here that's got a bit of graphite on it already, so that's fine. But if you, like in a minute we're going to use white pencil, you want to try and have a couple of tortillons. So I'm just softening the edge just a little bit, so we've still got that white highlight in the middle. And same there, so I'm just going to do the same on all of them. Okay. This would look nice actually, using, I don't know, one of the frames, maybe the oval frame. Fits it quite nicely in there, coming in and out of it. Or adding a few more up the side of a page, wouldn't it? Look quite nice. Okay, so just softening the edges, you see, just working it, but you don't want any in that centre edge. We're trying to keep the highlight there if we can. There we go. Alright, same on these. This never ceases to amaze me, because you think it starts really scruffy when you put your pencil down, but then as soon as your tortillon goes on, it totally changes the whole thing. Oh yes, Julie, it will. I mean, any pens. I mean, imagine the bright ones. You know, the neons look quite nice. But I've obviously gone for more subdued today. But honestly, I encourage you to do it again and try it with different colours. Don't just think it's coming back to these. I think this one's a little bit more right there. Of course, because we put those black lines in as well with the pen earlier, it's already started that little bit of shading there, so it's not like you're working from scratch on it. Okay, a little bit over here. Alright, let's have a look at that bit there. Okay, so of course with our white pencil, we can't really come in and do anything on here, although you can actually come in and put the tin if you like. You're not really going to see it on the bright white, but wait till we actually use it on the colour. See? I'm just touching up. There we go, that highlight, sort of the point in the middle there, a bit of white. There we go. Tiny bit there. Just at the centres. So although we've still left the gap, it's just nice to go in and add that. Let's have a look. Okay, so then I'm coming in with a cleaner one. It's had a bit of red pastel on. Oh, it's fine. It might go a bit pink. No, that's all right. There's not much on there. There we go. Okay. And I'm not really pushing it too far. I'm just sort of teasing it a little bit. I'm just softening around those edges, just a touch. There we go, there's a couple there, look. There we go, ever so gently. There we are. Let's have a look at that. Okay, so I think a little bit of shadow maybe, just underneath the main one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see this shape here. Just going to bring that shape out. You see there? Let's go a little bit. So it's that line there, and I'm just going to bring it out and back in till it goes to the inside of it. You see? There we go. Then with your tortillon, just going to soften that edge a little bit. There we go. You see? So let's come and do this one. So again, I'm just going to pull this shape out a bit. You see, you've got that kind of thing going on. And then bring that a little bit round there. And soften the edge. Just a little bit. Okay. Then to this one. And again, just going to put that shape there. Bring it and follow it round so it goes back to nothing there. So it joins it. It's always got to sort of join it somehow. Of course, the further away you go from it, the higher up the shadow seems to appear. Okay, so now if we're working on this side, see, we're not really going to see much shadow here on this one because the shadow's going to be sort of here. So I'm just going to add a touch there and then just soften it off. And then of course on this one, it's going to be down this bottom edge. So again, bringing it to nothing there. Even though, you know, on the grey you won't see it as much, you still want to put it in. It's all about those little details. Okay, let's have a look at that. Alright, so you see how it sort of looks like it's dropped a little bit. So I think your choice is whether you want to leave it at that or whether you want to add it to the others. I'm certainly not going to add it to these in the background. But I am going to add it now to all of these. So you see I'm just sort of kicking it out at the bottom and then bringing it in. And now, do you know, when you think, so many people say that they're not artists, but when you look at what we've achieved today and just starting with a curved line, that's all it was. You see there, I've just got that little drop. To suddenly having something that looks like this, it does amaze you, doesn't it? And you just think, how did that even happen? How did I do that? But you just take it one step at a time. Even if you've got to, you know, keep watching the video and pausing and just coming back and looking. You build it nice and slowly, and look what happens. You suddenly end up with something that's pretty special, isn't it? See, I'm not even going to put much there at all, but around here. So my shadows are sort of almost all of them. They're underneath, aren't they? Okay. So let's go back to this one. Oh, hey Chris. Hey, we all have to go back to work at some point. But the beauty of being able to use Facebook is you can come back and watch it as many times as you want. It's going to be there. I've got no intention of moving them. I would like to put a few more on YouTube, but it's just having the time to do it. And the way that you do it's not easy. It's a bit of a faff, if I'm honest, to do it. But I will get back to it and do some. But I can only do so many at one time for some reason. So if anybody's got instructions on easily doing it, please send them on. That'd be great. Okay, so I'm just going around and I'm just softening up those edges a little bit. You know, just working my way around. Well, I'm glad you like this one. I know I do sort of come up with some crazy ones sometimes, and you're like, what is she doing? But it's really pretty, isn't it? I think it's not going to be a full tangle though if I don't come back in with a bit of gold and add some bubbles, is it? So I'm not going to overdo it. You can never overdo it with bubbles. Let's add a couple in there. Maybe some over there. I know, and that's a good thing. That I will persevere and I will get round to doing it. It is definitely on my list. But, my list's quite long. Even John's asked to be added to it. Oh, he says, is he on the list before Benji and Seth, or is it? Yeah. How far down is he in comparison? There we are. Alright, so a few more over here, look. Now, you see, I'm just putting them around these little sort of stems on the top ends. So I'm not suddenly going crazy with bubbles. It is quite easy to do that. And if you want to add loads, it's entirely up to you. But I don't think it needs it. Let's have a look. Okay. So I suppose if I just sign this now, I mean, the thing to think about with this is if you've been able to do this, or if you think, okay, this is achievable, I can do it, then why are you not putting them in your journal and decorating around them on the journal page? Because this isn't that much smaller than that actual journal page. So, so, give yourself a go, have a go at it. What I will do with this is I will take a photograph of it, because I know today you're not being able to see all the ends because I've gone off my board a little bit. So, yeah, I will take a photo of it so you can see it in its full sort of view. Very quick one, as I said, I did do it in colour. This is a little bit rough though, so bear with me. I did do it in colour, so you can see where the plan came from that. So don't think it's got to be in monochrome. You see there, I actually still worked with the black and the white on all the tiles. It's just so different, isn't it, actually, from colour to that. So have a play, or mix and match, or do a bit of monochrome and mix colour in. Add a bit of colour onto your page as well. This will actually look lovely on perhaps on a coloured background, and then mix a bit of coloured pencil in on the background and just leave this. So, oh my goodness me. Yeah, really, really like that one. So I hope you do too, and I hope you have fun with it. And it'll keep you good. It'll keep you out of trouble, hopefully, till Friday, when I'll see you again at 2 o'clock. So, okay, have fun with this one, everyone. Let me see what you've been doing with it. All right, time to go now, I think. Deep breath. All right, I really enjoyed that. Thank you ever so much, everybody. I'll speak to you Friday. You take care. Bye.